What's up, everybody? Welcome to Big Gamer Small Talk, the weekly podcast, the one that you guys wait for and cry and bitch about and ask us, when's BGST coming on? When's BGST? Did I miss BGST? No, you didn't fucking miss it. It's on right now, motherfuckers. Welcome to the show. Z was like, hey, man, I was sucking a lot of dicks, so my throat's a little sore. Can you do the intro? And I was like, sure, bro. Anything for you, man. So...
Stupid, man. The Como Styles, bitches.
Como Styles, bitches.
Yeah, this show's got. We should start every show with a rated R or some shit, because it's like, hey, it just starts off like that.
Yeah, it does tend to do that. But hey, we got Tim here, we got Z, we got Mooch. The only one not here is Showstopper. And
Showstopper told you he's battling gout or some shit and high blood pressure.
Yeah,
he lost weight though. He lost all that weight though.
That don't mean shit. What's still smooth?
So we got a lot of interesting stuff. Man, we can start off with man. There's a lot of media stuff going on today.
Wait, why don't you guys start off with that shit? That Mr. Media X shit, because I missed it. I've been doing that. I'm fucking plugged, and me and you was just talking behind the scenes, Mooch. You were saying there's some. Tell me what the fuck. I don't know what the hell.
Listen, I'm just saying. You know, you had mentioned. I'm gonna start with Z because Z's good. Z reminds me of some of my cousins. He'll set me up here. So like, here's the deal. A lot of people are saying now that the rumor is possibly the Slim that's coming out has the stuff that's compatible to mess with the Neo. And all I'm saying is that I've also read counter reports that say if you're gonna believe, okay guys, in air quotes, if you're gonna believe the Slim is the all and mighty powerful to go against the Neo, then the current Xbox we have has some kind of, I'm not saying whatever, it's not gonna have 5.5 or 75 teraflops, but it's going to have some extra juice coming in it in one way, shape, or form. So that's what I mean. It just depends. If you're on Twitter, if you're a BGST fan and you listen to all of us rambling on Twitter, you know what we're talking about. If you don't follow the banter on Twitter, then you're only kind of piecing all these podcasts together. Basically what Z's talking about, what crap I'll get into with some of the other news, is just that you've got insiders, quote unquote, again in air quotes, if you want to believe them, saying that what we currently have in our homes right now, in conjunction with what will come out as the Slim, are going to be powerful enough to at least compete. I'm not going to say beat, I'll say compete with the Neo. And think about it. There's just fun speculation with that, right? Why did Sony step on the gas? Sony has people go, well, no, Mooch, the Neo is being created for VR. Well, that's not necessarily true, and hear me out. If that was true, why did they put that 2x2 processor in the PSVR kit? Okay, that was developed and designed so when you plug that extra juice, that extra power that the PSVR needed into your vanilla PS4, it would be able to handle all PSVR games. That's how it's still being bundled. So you can't say the Neo was put together quickly and hurry up to compete with that. There's one line of rationale, like crap I'll get into it. He discusses they were going to just make a Slim, but they found out that parts were cheaper now, and so now to make a cheaper part, you could actually just go with the latest and greatest technology in the box and make it more powerful.
Oh, okay.
And then there's other people. Real quick, then there's other people that say, well, wait a minute, maybe these insiders or these leaks or the clues you want to put together for Xbox One are something substantial, and that's why Sony created the Neo, not for PlayStation VR.
You're in Parasite territory, bro.
Well, listen, but it's not Parasite territory. It's AMD has a big ad right now slapped on their website that says whatever that is, the 480 whatever it's called, that gives over 4 something teraflops used in the Xbox One. That's not Parasite, that's AMD. So I mean, there's just
but that's not our Xbox One that we have right now.
But crap, that's not fair. That's not a fair, because you can't swear on any Bibles that you know that. That's you just saying.
It's a brand new chip. How can
no, it's not.
Yeah,
it's not brand new at $199 on the shelf. It's not brand new.
Dude, like the thing that you're seeing is these companies are coming out with affordable chips. This is like a brand new chip.
So where's the Xbox One that they put it in that's advertised on the sticker?
I'm telling you, it's going to be the Slim, because
so you're telling me AMD, Phil has had Redmond completely on lockdown, but AMD just got up and decided to spill the beans 2 weeks early.
Well, they did with the
I'm not
investor
buying that
calls.
either.
They did with investor calls, actually.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. What I've been saying for wow now. That AMD did have an investment call. That was about 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And they said that they had new products that was hitting the shelf this holiday season. New products and something like I said, the Slim to me is not a new product. It's just, well, it's not a new product. It's not, you know, I mean, it is what it is. It's the same thing. But I've always said on the show, and it makes no sense for Microsoft to spend the R&D on shrinking this goddamn box, putting the same problems that you have with the current system, putting it into the smaller box, and when you have a console in the Neo that's for the time, for whatever more powerful than what you have right now, and whatever you're going to sell the Slim at, to me, that just never made any business since 101. Like, you know, you spend the money and shrink the box.
Especially if Sony, the reason why they did it, part of the reason is because it was more cost effective to do the newer stuff than to shrink the die. Then why wouldn't that be the same thing apply to Microsoft, right? Like, from what I heard,
Right.
and again, this is just hearsay. Like, I'm not claiming to be an insider.
You're not.
We've all heard, no, of course not. That'd be fucking stupid. But one of the things that I've heard is they were really pissed about the leak about Scorpio. They thought everyone was talking about the Slim, and the Slim was going to surprise people because it was going to be more powerful. Scorpio was going to be their next-gen attack next year because they were going to pull what the 360 did. The original Xbox only lasted 4 years.
Yes.
Then they came out a year early with the 360, caught Sony by surprise, and captured all that fucking space from Sony, right? I think they were planning on doing the same thing. Wouldn't that be a surprise attack? You come out with something that matches Neo and this year, and that's your base model going forward, and then next year you start the fucking next generation, and everything's still going to be forward and backwards compatible.
But your story right there is just as insane as anyone else's. That makes sense to you. That's fine. But like that doesn't. Like my point is this. Let me just change the same words you just said. Instead of Microsoft being upset that Scorpio leaked and Scorpio being the next generation box, what if Scorpio is this upgraded either Slim or the current Xbox One? What if that's why they're mad? Because something got out that actually they have something that they were going to surprise everybody, which Phil said, I've got unprecedented surprises. That's not the next generation console.
Yeah, but look,
so
here,
what is it?
Okay, because I ask you guys, we may not be tech savvy, but
Right.
what's the Xbox One? 1.3 teraflops?
Yes, 1.3.
This guy is saying with the flip of a switch, 5.5 teraflops is going to happen in the one we have, and that
It's
just
not
ain't
gonna
going to
happen.
happen.
It's
It's just complete nonsense.
It's not going to be.
It
It's
is.
not going to be
just-
5.5 teraflops. But
It's not gonna. There's nothing gonna change.
Change the hardware.
The only thing that's coming that's gonna be a change is Scorpio, and that's
Okay, let's go on by what we know.
then
The
there's
FCC.
then why would Phil be upset?
Well, that's hearsay. That you heard that from somebody on the.
I know I've heard from people that I can't really say, but
You
that
can.
Phil was really pissed off, and some people lost their jobs over the Scorpio leak. So
Okay.
I
I heard
originally
the same
thought that
thing,
was
too.
a
I heard
controlled.
the same thing, but that doesn't mean that it's real.
I know.
Right.
I thought it was a controlled leak, dude. Because look,
Me too.
Phil was like, it's gonna be a big day or whatever. Somebody fucking DM'd me on Twitter and said that to start the day before the Scorpio shit leaked. Mikey Barrow comes in the Crossfire podcast. You know what I mean? Like, this all shit to me just screams like Microsoft is fucking confident, and they were like, hey, let's go ahead and fucking do that. But then you start hearing that people maybe were losing their jobs and all this kind of stuff, and it makes you
might not
wonder.
be. Like I said, that could just be hearsay. That could be here. You know, we don't know. What I do know, from what I've seen, and from there were several people that I heard that were getting tipped off that something was going to happen that week.
What week? Well, as far as what?
The week when Scorpio was leaked.
Oh, I mean, as far as that, I mean, again.
So I think it was a controlled leak.
Listen. Let's say this: some things are controlled. Some comes out from. And again, I'm not even claiming to be an insider, but before all this shit started, what was told to me, word around campfire, both Microsoft and Sony, and I've told you guys this, behind the scenes or whatever, that both Microsoft and Sony were releasing new hardware. Me and South had a conversation about it a couple months ago. Not saying I was giving any specs or anything like that, but just going. Then you have the thing from the FCC that that Microsoft was had to file a patent, for the wireless, whatever the fuck the case may be, with the FCC. And that's two pieces of said hardware right there, two different models. That the NDA doesn't come off for the other. They pushed it back to June 25th or something. June 25th, or one was to the 3rd. One of the NDAs for I think June 13th, and they pushed it back 2 weeks or so to June 25th. I believe, or whatever the case may be. Again, like I've always mandated, and and maybe you guys, well, I guess it makes sense now. I guess when you think about it, put the fanboy shit aside. That,
See, let me just. I just want to say this, and I want this to resonate over the panel for the rest of the show, and then we'll answer it as we go along. Okay.
Okay.
Phil Spencer saying this E3 will bring unprecedented surprises.
Okay.
We heard that last year. Hold on.
No, we didn't. We heard games. Okay. Now this year, we're also hearing we're going to do something we've never done before, in air quotes. And we have Mike Ibarra on the Tick podcast about January or February timeframe saying we are doing something, maybe one or two things, much larger of a scale than backwards compatibility. Take those three things said by the executives, the people who really count. No leaks, no insiders, nobody named Mr., and nobody ending in X.
Okay.
That's all factual statements by the people that we all nod our heads and say they have something to do with it. Now tell me, you're telling me those three, we've never done this before in history, unprecedented surprises, much larger scale than backwards compatibility, and you're telling me we're getting a Slim.
But look, here's the thing. I'm saying the Slim. I'm saying the Slim is going to be power.
But announcing the Scorpio, Tim, the Scorpio you're talking about, that's also not what they've never released a new console before. That's not a big deal. What are they doing that's so unprecedented?
Okay, I think here's the thing. I think unprecedented.
Isn't that a good point? I mean, you got to think about the point I'm making here. Is that Phil's not a bullshitter. Phil would have just been like this. Yeah, it's gonna be a really cool E3. Stay tuned.
Check it out. I got you. What you're saying, unprecedented E3, right? And you guys, something they never did before. I think. And then when Phil said during a console generation, you see us come out with different iterations during that said console generation for manufacturers. I think that whatever they do show is going to be something that's upgradable.
That's you can fine. Build. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's
you can build on.
I don't know. Before. I mean, I'll buy. Listen, it's different.
Okay, now listen. Going forward, you don't ever bet on black again. When I tell you guys something, listen what I'm telling you, man. I told you, fucking guys. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like I've always said, and we went back and forth several fucking shows. This is a business, you know what I mean? Microsoft can't afford this in their hands. They can't. They have to get the jump on Sony, you know what I mean? And what was told to me from the same source, that when it comes to hardware, Microsoft won't be outdueled again. I've heard that from a very credible source, you know what I mean? They won't, when it comes to hardware, they won't be outgunned again, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, but now they're also saying that...
I have my whole take on it is that there is Scorpio, it's coming. And that's about it. I think there'll be a Slim, and it'll have 4K streaming capability with HDMI 2.0. You might have that Xbox stick that they're talking about, the Chromecast thing. But for me, it's the big thing is Scorpio's coming, but we might not get an answer on that for a while. But it's when he's teasing. And all the shit that's going on, there's new hardware coming, but I don't think we're gonna get what we're talking about right now. I think that we're overstating E3. I don't think that it's gonna happen.
We have no choice. Okay, even if they did, here's the thing. Again, let's say in your thing, let's say they're taking the regular Xbox One, sticking the box.
Hey, dude, it's not even if they didn't mention anything.
Okay, listen, this is what you're saying. They're taking the regular Xbox One, right, which is losing quote unquote this console generation, whatever. They're gonna spend the R&D, shrink the box, right? They'll put all you need is another chip in it to make it 4K. Change the motherboard to make it HDMI 2.0, right? They can spend the money to do that and put the same anemic GPU in the back of the box and sell it for $300.
It would have to be a shrunk down one. That's why I'm saying it's probably going to be that newer chip.
Yeah, I'm just saying this for $300, and then we'll hear Sony come, and not mention your next console.
You're still gonna use the same RAM, and you're gonna still use the same specs, just with a newer chip, is what you're saying?
No,
that's what Sony's doing.
Well, they're using the memory has a higher bandwidth. This is like the CPU is higher.
It's possible that they could do a two-spec thing, like they could do that, like
they overclock the CPU. It's same shit CPU though.
Right, but
according to rumors,
not rumors. You could read it in the fucking documents, dude. Like it states what's in there.
My point is Scorpio is coming.
Yeah.
That we don't, and it's going to be the most powerful console on on the planet, and that's why people lost their minds. But that's true. The other stuff, all this stuff that we're talking about, is just.
But what you think? But you think they will release a plain Slim?
Definitely coming.
I'm saying, but you think they release a plain Slim, and to go against the Neo? I mean,
I don't think. I think the Neo's answer is Scorpio, and then that's that. It's just you're talking about a 9-month time frame or a 10
like,
month time frame.
hey Tim, did you hear this? Because this is what I heard, right? Microsoft was panicking about Neo. They were caught off guard.
But Neo?
They flipped. Yeah, they flipped out. Like apparently, that's what I heard. I heard they flipped. They flipped the fuck out. This is what I heard. That they flipped the fuck out over this thing, right? Because they thought they were gonna have the jump on Sony, and then Sony ended up getting the jump on them, right? So who knows? Tim could be right. It'll be interesting to see what they give us at E3.
Okay.
Listen,
Here's the thing.
bottom line is there's one end game here. Microsoft has to come out with the most powerful console. Now they just need to take that crown back, and then it might flip flop back.
It's flipping already. Tim.
Right, but the thing is, they need to do that.
Yeah.
And if that means to back up their plans or to do whatever, they need Sony to announce Neo, and then they need to counteract. Now I agree. I think that it's all in process. They are expecting Neo to be, as Crap says, there's documentation. Giant Bomb has basically confirmed Neo, and that is going to happen with the specs and everything. They know that moving forward. They just have to come out, whether it's the end of 2017, and they can say, we have the best, most powerful console on the planet, and that will erase all the bullshit that they've taken for the last 3 years.
But see, they're not going to announce. They won't announce the Tim, and this is something I'm going to use some of Crap's logic on this. They will not announce if something's coming out end of 2017. They're not going to announce it now.
I agree. I don't expect it at E3.
But here's the thing. I kind of agree and disagree with that. But even what Crap said about Microsoft flipping out, again, when like I told you, when Microsoft and Sony, when they make hardware, whatever, they go to third party. You know what I mean? Trust me. You know, if I heard about that PS4 months ago, Microsoft know about it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day,
months isn't maybe not enough though. I mean, if you look at it
again, I mean, like I said, going to the rumors that came out in 2014, Microsoft was going to do a low end, mid range, and high end.
Going by 2014 though, that was like a totally different Microsoft.
No, I'm just saying.
That's not a bad idea in my opinion.
No, but here's the thing: if we're going to get a Slim, I'm just saying that there is a Slim, and that Slim is more beefier than whatever the case, and then we get the more powerful goddamn console in 2017. You know what I mean? And then, like I said,
I'm going to say this much. I do agree with Crap. Look, at this point, we can't say if Crap's story is correct about the Neo was created basically because it was originally going to be a PS4 Slim, but then they found that the parts were just as cheap. There's no way that Microsoft wouldn't follow suit. So I agree with Crap on that. The only speculation that's being thrown in there is so is Microsoft going to get on stage? I can't see Phil smiling on that Twitter page that he had, him, Aaron, and Major Nelson. Major Nelson smiles like twice a year, and he was grinning from ear to ear in that picture. I heard Creative Chatter was something different than what we think.
What do you think? What have you heard?
They thought it was about the Slim.
Well, I can tell you this
much.
We
were speculating the Slim.
There is a possibility. This is from Tom Warren. We all know who Tom Warren is, right? Yes. I'd be very surprised if Microsoft talks about Scorpio at E3. Makes no sense to kill existing and Slim sales for 12+ months. That's what we're all agreeing to. Yeah. Then Arthur Guys, who we all know who Arthur Guys is, the head editor, I think, at Polygon, says pretty sure they're going to.
Yeah, because
and he says, why would they do that and ship 60 months' time? That's insane. They feel like the Neo cannot go unanswered, which explains what we're talking about. Now, these are two guys that are very high-end, guys in the media.
Again, while leaning towards that again,
that we might be getting this. We might, we might be actually getting the Scorpio announcement. And for me, if you could still play your games on Scorpio, which it sounds like you can, on Xbox One, they might just be willing to bite the bullet on Xbox One because, as you know, it's at this point it hasn't lived up to expectations. Sony's killing it, and they could take the narrative right from the get-go.
That's fine. Hey, Tim, I got news for you. I'll meet you in line. I'll be there day one for that.
Exactly. We would be happy if the only thing that I fear, or that I think Microsoft should fear, that is if they go first and they say we got the Scorpio. Again, Sony has a chance to say, well, guess what? We're gonna delay our thing, and we're gonna have the same 490.
Yeah.
And that's very possible.
I don't. No.
You know what they should do? They should say, here's what we have. Tune in tomorrow at our live show for the specs, and fuck yourself, Sony. Like, let them fucking say something for once.
I don't even think Sony might not even. I've heard Sony might not even say anything about Neo at E3. They might wait.
Well, Neo is basically confirmed.
Well, it's fucking. I got the fucking.
You have the spec. You have the leak thing that I know that you don't share because of obviously.
It's got all the fucking developer information fucking plastered all over the pages. So, but it's basically it reads just like that fucking giant bomb, or what the hell was that? Was it Giant Bomb or was it?
So you talking about the one we saw together or another one?
Giant Bomb. Giant Bomb. Originally, Polygon broke the story about Neo. Then Giant Bomb.
It's a whole. It's their whole document. It basically tells you all about
the one you saw together or another one.
It might be the one we saw together. Did you get? I got the video and I also got the document, but the document is basically confirms the teraflops and the compute units.
Okay. But the base unit, so you're talking about the one that saying everything starting with, I was saying you guys from October going forward has to support quote unquote Neo mode?
Well, I didn't read anything like that, but I did read it.
Okay, all right.
But it basically has, all the buffers and things like that. It's just go for 1080p because 1440 doesn't make a difference. So it's 1080p on this or.
I'm going to say that it is possible. I'm going to say, now I didn't think that this was possible until I read this with guys, and just things that I'm going to take. It's possible. Let me ask you this question. If they announced Scorpio and said, we intend to be the most powerful console, and they didn't give the specs, like Mooch said, to give them a fuck around, and they keep the question, but they say that we are intending to make the most powerful console, and they have a Scorpio fucking walk on the stage or whatever, would all of us be happy?
Yes.
Well, I mean,
even though it's 16 months out, and they say your Xbox One can still play these games.
That would fucking kill their fucking sales, though, man.
Yeah, but we just agreed 15 minutes ago, crap, that we're all sitting here. We're probably the 4 biggest Xbox fans on the earth, and we know that. It's not conceding or not. It's over. This generation's already done. And listen, Sony's even taking the crown and walking away with it. It's over. Even the Neo and whatever they have coming out next, PS4 is also dead.
Okay. Let me just ask you guys another question. Now we're talking about narrative. Now, do we all agree that the narrative is a very big thing when it comes to video games, whether or not it means anything?
Yes.
The narrative that's being talked about and what's being pushed by the media.
Yeah.
The narrative with Scorpio, we all agree, has Sony fanboys and even some of the media very fucking disheveled. I mean,
I think so.
So it is a way for Microsoft to say, we're going to take back that narrative, but you could still have your games on Xbox One, and guess what? You could still play your games on Xbox One, albeit a lower resolution or whatever, because of the UWP. But they're doing it 16 months out. So that's the whole question. Is it worth to take the narrative now and to push out 16 months, or is it better to just keep your mouth shut, let Sony announce Neo, and then move from there and then counteract? It's like a game of chess.
It's a game of chess.
If their slim matches up, with Neo, then why not have that? You know what I mean? Don't say anything about Scorpio. That's what you do. You don't.
We already had from IGN come up that they're making a VR game. Someone's making a VR game.
Yeah.
They're not making their own VR headset. So again, I think we're going to hear something about the Scorpio or whatever.
Well, like I said, if they use the newer chip like AMD says, then that could be in the Slim. Why wouldn't they have upgraded just like Sony did? Instead of shrinking the die, because
they're using that Polaris. I told you they're using the Polaris or the 36 CUs on the and that can't be done with existing tech. But they also had that Taiwanese company that came out, so they're making the chip for a major company, and that's supposed to release their console in 2017. You know what I mean? And this is way before Nintendo just put off their console at the last minute because I heard they were having some problems with yield problems and stuff. That's why the console didn't come out this year. And they ran to Twitter, and you never heard somebody give an announcement on Twitter. Well, you can't get our console until 2017 of March of next year. I'm sorry, it's not going to be at E3. You know what I mean? So again, Microsoft is releasing a console next year, and they are releasing something this year. So I don't know. Like they're gonna, to me, I just hope they don't. I don't. That's to me just stupid. Unless they're gonna sell that Slim for $175, $200, then
dude, it could be an upgraded Slim. It could be exactly have what the Neo has in it.
Right.
And they could be offering Oculus with it. You know what I mean? Like they could say, hey, because Microsoft, unlike Sony, never said, hey, we're coming out with VR and all VR will run on the current Xbox.
How those Slim?
That's the one thing that Microsoft has, and with the whole thing with Neo is dependent on VR, and it definitely has a bearing on it. Microsoft is free to do whatever the fuck they want.
Yep.
All they have to do is have a console that's capable of handling Oculus, which the rumored console can. So to me, with the whole thing with what Phil's doing with the creative chatter, I mean, either he's being a dick, or there's something really there. Now, if you're gonna ask me, I think there's something really there, and they're moving forward with the
Hey, unprecedented could also mean, because Mooch was talking about that earlier, like we all have different to them, like getting that free fucking Windows 10 version was unprecedented of Quantum Break. Like that's amazing to them, right? Being able to play purchase one game and getting it on multiple platforms, that's unprecedented to them. To me or us, that probably means dick. You know what I mean? Like, who gives a shit? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
so
it's two different worlds of crap. You're right. Let's say they use the words unprecedented for that. That was under the PC terms. When you're talking E3 and he's being interviewed for E3 talk, that's 110% console.
Yeah. But the thing is look, it's not console. Did you see they dropped the Xbox One thing? It's just Xbox.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it's Microsoft Xbox Windows 10.
Yeah.
Yep, there is no more.
Why? I'm sorry.
That's a smart move.
Do we all agree, though, that the only thing that they really need to do is just take back the Power Crown?
That's it.
That's really the end game here.
Because
now,
Phil's already got the budget for money for games. There is a game of
chess going on right now.
Yes.
And I think that, you probably have Sony a little. I mean, you look at some of the things that are going on, and people really are fearful, which is kind of sad. But people are really fearful this is true.
You know why? Because they painted boxed this up in the corner where all this power should the whole generation.
Well, not just that, but they don't have any games on PlayStation. They've got nothing.
It's the multi-plat thing, you know what I mean? Sony, what they're going to do, they're going to...
big deal. It is very true that they painted themselves in the corner.
And also, too, the reason why... I'm going to say we can go switch topics. The reason why I say no for the Slim and the Oculus Rift, because you got to realize they did announce these new cards, graphics cards or whatever, but those are for desktop PCs. The Xbox or whatever, consoles, they use mobile GPUs. And I don't know about no mobile GPU right now that can power the Oculus.
So you know what, Z? I'm going to flip the switch on you. I'm going to ask you for once. Because me, Tim, and Crap have all gone. What do you, honest to God, in your gut, or you're a betting man,
yes.
There's a bookie in front of you right now. He's got all those stacks that you had next to your sandwich the other day. If you're putting all those stacks on this right now, what do you think we're going to see at E3?
I think what we're going to see from E3 is, honestly, from Microsoft, something more powerful. You know what I mean? Whether
so you think we're going to see the next generation box?
Whatever that may be, yes.
You think they just might tease it, like at the end of the show, have a score?
I don't think it's maybe at the end of the show. I get it because again, like this said, in the perfect world, it can be about games. But sad to say, it's not about games anymore. It's not. It's all about what's under the fucking hood. You know what I mean?
Once Microsoft has the power advantage, it'll be about games.
Okay, and like I said again,
exactly.
Okay. I mean, again, but even if it, once Microsoft, because a lot of those guys that were Xbox fans that flipped the script, you guys see the comments. I kind of miss Xbox. Oh, go Scorpio. Come on, we all see the bullshit. But again, like I said in the day, I think if Microsoft was smart, and and again, what was kind of told with me that they won't be outgunned anymore when it comes to on the hardware format.
They can't be. They have to.
Now here's the thing. Now here's the gray area. Now, for this whole 3 years, Sony's been touting itself as having the best version of the multiplats, right?
Right.
Now, what does Sony have now? Because they already spread themselves thin. They're making new hardware with the PlayStation
VR.
They got the VR. It's another $350 million. You know what I mean? So they don't. I'm just being real. They don't have the money to put back into their own intellectual property.
It's not it's not a matter of the money. I think it's more.
Oh, it is the money. Shit.
Well, it is the money, but they are allotting a lot of money to PSVR.
Yeah, VR
they're allotting a lot of resources to PSVR.
Neo and
right. That's where Microsoft has an advantage. Is they shoot in this fucking deal with, it looks like a partnership with Oculus.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant, because they don't have to worry. They don't have to do anything. Sony has to do everything. It has a closed environment. Basically, they're not open sourcing this. So they have to make all their games PSVR. Nobody can just go out and make a PSVR game. They have to worry about that. They have to dedicate resources.
Isn't it crazy, Tim, what you're saying is so true? History repeats itself over and over again. So Microsoft came out in the 360 era, was the king. They knew what Sony did wrong with the PS3. Microsoft F's up, does this generation what the PS3 was, and now we're going into an early version of next generation, and Sony's taking what Microsoft failed with the Kinect, and they're doing it with the PSVR. It is an absolute clusterfuck. Does anybody know how to fucking read a history goddamn chart? Read the chart.
It's just why it can't be that they're all. It always seems that one's hitting on all cylinders and one gets arrogant. And then they lose focus.
You know what we gotta do? Can somebody reach out to Z Huge, aka Z Tiny, and get a fucking history? Can we get Sony a history timeline of fuck ups? Because they're fucking up right now.
Z Huge, the pie chart, man. Did you guys squash that beef, or is this still on and raging?
Squash that beef. He squashed the Xbox community.
He even blocked Worry, and when I saw Worry was
Worry blocked. Oh shit!
Yeah, I'm like,
he blocked everybody. Dude. He blocked the Pope. The Xbox Pope was blocked.
He blocked Tom. Yeah, Tom doesn't bother.
Tom, the Xbox Pope.
I don't fucking bother nobody, but goddamn, shit.
Whatever.
Crazy.
That guy just blew his
He blocked Pony Warp.
That's an example of people losing their cool over possible Xbox good news.
Yes.
You know, I mean, like we have this moron today makes a video about me. His name is Weeboo or whatever. He makes this fucking video about how I'm a corporate slave. I look at his profile. It's the most biggest fucking Sony pony fucking fanboy corporate slave shit. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm like, this is how shook these guys are. These guys are actually fucking shaken that Microsoft might have the more powerful console, and that goes back to what Z says. They painted themselves in that corner, so they made their bed. They don't want to sleep in it. That's on them.
Yeah, the fear is real. I'll say that for sure, and it's freaking people out.
Yeah.
Like it's really freaking people out. It's funny to me, like just from someone sitting on the outside, like perfectly content and happy with what I have. It's just interesting to see how people are fucking reacting to this, and I actually, I love it. To be honest with you,
so takeaway, they're not going to have the best version of multiplats anymore.
Well, they'll both be running 1080p. I mean.
No, well, I'm just saying. Well, just talking about high.
Well, everything might be 1080p, 60 frames per second, but I'll tell you one thing: Microsoft's going to run the steadier frames. Microsoft's going to have maybe more.
What not even 6 teraflops? They can get 4K for 6 teraflops.
Yeah, they could get like a game like Rise of the Tomb Raider, or even Forza. Forza is possible. I think. I mean, that's down the line. If they could get some kind of 4K gaming going. That's going to be a big thing.
If 6
Who's playing Mario, by the way?
No, that was I got a message on Facebook. No, that's not. Somebody is playing Mario. I think that's crap ass.
I don't know what you guys are talking about, bitches.
You don't play Mario?
Is crap pulling a John Doe?
Yeah, I'm playing a little bit of Mario. Fuck y'all.
Yeah, I told you. It's your boy John Doe.
It's your boy John Doe.
No, man, I was just having some fun, man. Gaming, man. That's what it's all about, you guys. Gaming.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. What you say, though, Tim? As you were saying about
just overall, I mean, it's a good time to, for Xbox fans. I think we talked about that, and
it is.
we have a right to be happy, and we can be happy. And if that bothers you so much, please get another hobby, because when you're worried about other people being happy rather than yourself being happy, you got some serious issues. When you're making videos about people because you're scared because that person's pushing the narrative that Scorpio's real and it's going to be the most powerful console, which seems to be the goal here by Microsoft. You know, and that bothers you so much, where you're seeing other people excited rather than yourself. There's a problem there. There really is a problem that you need to get yourself checked out, maybe by a shrink. I don't know what to tell you.
Let me ask you a question then. So if going, just thinking about what Crap said, if the Slim is on par, more powerful, and we get the Scorpio next year, so what do? Would you still get the Slim and get the Scorpio next year? Like, how do you play this?
I keep my Xbox One. And then just...
I would return one of my Xboxes and get the Slim, and then return another Xbox and get the Scorpio.
See, me and Tim already talked about this last week. I know we're in agreement. I know Crap says no, but Crap will be in line right behind me and Tim. But, like, literally what will happen is you take one of your Xbox Ones that you got in the house. I mean, minimum you're going to get 175. You know, on a bad day. If it's raining outside and they fucking hate your first name, you're going to get 175 when you walk in the door.
Trading in my Xbox One. I got a fucking day one Xbox One.
Yeah, but except for the controller, put another controller in the box and keep the controller. It says day one. Dude, Xbox, I have the day one too. It doesn't say shit on it. My point is, return it, get the fucking stronger one, and enjoy it. Like, why would you not for 180?
We don't need a new controller though. Because moving forward, we can use the controller they have. Would you all agree?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Crap. All jokes aside, I've already got this planned out. Okay, I'm keeping that day one controller too, bro. I'm putting the fucking extra black controller I got there. I'm gonna put that in there in return. I'm not gonna return my fucking day one controller. No.
So what do you think? So are they gonna make the Elite controller standard in these consoles?
No, I don't.
Well, they might make this. They're supposedly having a redesigned standard Xbox controller.
What do you think about that?
It's going to have the Pro grips that everyone likes and a little couple of touches. I think that's the controller that you might get with Scorpio. Which, at the end of the day, listen, the standard control that we have with Xbox One is fantastic. If you want something better, the best control in the world is the Elite. Pretty much, and you can get that. So it's the controller part where it's a big part of R&D and making a console is null and void in this case. That's why Scorpio can probably be released earlier than usual cycles, because now you have a controller. You don't have to worry about the controller. Do the new upgraded controller, or have our controllers that we have now compatible with the new system. It's a go. You know what I mean?
Well, supposedly, right, there's multiple leaks, Brad Sams being one, which we've heard even from Jez is a very reliable source. Some way, somehow, with the Slim that's coming, there's a redesigned Xbox One controller coming out.
Right.
It's not going to be an Elite. By no means is it an Elite. It's impossible. You're not going to charge $150 and then give one away in the box. But what I think it'll tweak the D-pad a little more. Whatever the enhancements they did on the board work, possibly underneath, and you'll get the grips. The grips will start coming standard that we have on the Elite. So if you take that controller that they're going to have in the Slim and you put that in the Scorpio for next, or whatever the next, that's great. That's good enough.
Yeah, exactly. Agreed. There's nothing really that needs to be done. You agreed. You put that with the Pro grips. I mean, listen, I use the Lunar controller with the Pro grips. That is my go-to controller, even more than the Elite. Now, I don't use the Elite a lot of times because I only have one, and I'm afraid of dropping it or getting grease on it.
That's all I use.
Greasy ass fingers.
Yeah.
Put those steak and cheese sandwiches down, you fat bitch.
Right. So I kind of steer clear, but the Lunar is an excellent controller, and
I like that fucking that Elite with the chat.
Well, I gotta be honest with you. I'm a loon. Like, first of all, I take care of the Elite like crazy. Like, I have everything in prestige. But I do have two of them, so I'm with Tim. If I didn't have two, I probably would definitely be doing what Tim's doing. I would just use my standard one for like just bullshit play. Like, if I'm just grinding on Destiny, just who gives a shit, like just beating the shit out of the controller, I'm gonna use the regular one. In the event that I have two, I'm a little more. I wouldn't use the word sloppy, but a little considerably more like reckless with it because I know I have a backup. Yeah.
I just like the way it feels.
Balls and you get like a little freaking scratch. That's just like, for me, that just drives me nuts. You know?
Me too.
Little things like that. You know, we all have personal perception. It's like getting a new car. And
Yes.
like you don't want fucking somebody comes in with muddy boots and you fucking freak out. You're like, get the
Fuck
fuck
your
out.
boots, man.
Yeah, fuck your couch. Fuck your couch.
Fuck your couch.
So what we said, what we doing for E3? We're gonna do, we said, the pre on Smooch's channel, or we can do live and after it's on yours.
Live
Yeah,
on yours and then after.
What time you guys want to start? Usually, Major Nelson kicks off at, I think, 12 with a pre E3, and it's about a half an hour, 40 minutes. So maybe we would do 11:30, and we'll go through the pre-show.
Whatever.
The pre-show is just
Well,
Larry.
the show is 9:30 a.m.
No, I'm talking Eastern time.
Eastern.
Yeah, the show is 9:30.
No, you're out west.
9:30 West Coast.
Okay.
9:30 West Coast. 12. So what I'm saying is,
I'm thinking I'm already in LA.
yeah. So I'm saying I was thinking maybe we'd do 11 or 11:30 on my channel. We'll go the hour.
We go 11. We go 11.
We'll do an hour and a half on mine. Then we'll do the hour and a half on Z's, and then the post show could go for an hour and a half. If it's crazy, we might be on Crap's channel for 3 hours.
Yeah. And then Sony, and we come back from Sony.
Sony, we come back at what? We'll be on it. Maybe we'll start at like 8:45, 8:30, 8:45 for the 9 o'clock show.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Make sure you guys got your coffee and shit, because that's gonna be.
We're gonna have fun.
I'm bringing my Surface, so I don't know. Supposedly there's a Forza event after the thing, and then there is a possibility that I might be in my haunted hotel and with my.
Oh, you're not shacking up with South?
No, I got my own hotel. I like my own bed. I don't like sleeping on.
Fuck that. Yo, next year, me and South are doing a cross country trip, yo.
Good luck.
We gonna have fun. Tell me, hey, Mooch, we bring you with us, Mooch. South is flying to Jersey, and from Jersey we be fucking driving straight to Cali. I'm gonna get the train back.
I had some crazy stuff come up this year, but next year I'm definitely going. And I listen, Z, I'm all about having a good time, but that you want to do this cross country shit.
Hey man, tell me, we pick up Hooker State to state, leave us soul bodies, man.
So we've talked about the hardware to death. What games? Now it looks like Battletoads looks like it's gonna be a thing.
Yeah, I think that's coming down the pipe. Now I just hope that it's a new take on Battletoads. You know what I mean, guys? Like I don't want the rare replay version of Battletoads at 1080p 60.
It's gonna be a next generation step.
Yeah, I want it to have like an RPG element, where you have to level this dude up, gain weapons and all kinds of different shit, different skills. I hope it's something like that.
Be a little deeper than it originally.
I hope it's a game. I hope they treat it like a AAA game. As long as they treat it as a AAA game, I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. But
it is a AAA.
Well, I'm just saying, we don't fucking hit it with the Panzer Dragon for the Kinect titles and shit like that.
The Kinect is done, man. That shit's done.
But what I'm saying is, anyway, I'm more interested. I want to see what type of game Recore is, because that's the enigma right there, the wild card. What the fuck kind of game is Recore?
Yeah.
Sea of Thieves. I'm not too big on Rare. But anyway,
fucking cloud compute, the thing that everyone said was fake. We are going to actually probably get hands-on.
You think they probably make the Crackdown demo live at the E3? You think that'll be huge?
I'm hoping, man.
I heard we're gonna get either that or the Halo Wars 2 beta right at E3. So.
Are you guys into Halo Wars 2? I'm not into RTSs.
I like the occasionally one. You know what? I like the Halo ones anyway. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
Looks like we're gonna get a Total War as well.
What's it, Age of Empire?
I think Total War, isn't it?
Or no, Age of Empires.
Age of Empires. I know they own that IP.
That's rumored. There has to be. So you have Battletoads. You have this Age of Empires, New Age of Empires. They're gonna have a shitload of games. I think they're gonna have like 2 RTSs. But they're gonna also have something big. They're gonna have a big headliner. I don't know if Halo 6 is.
That's
way
too soon for that. Yeah.
Here's the big headliner.
We've had a bunch of new IPs that have come and aren't doing so. They haven't done so great. So I don't know where they're gonna go. Forza's gonna get some type of major shit. They're not going to be having a Forza event right after it.
I think the big game for Microsoft is going to be Gears, just hands down.
Yeah. I think the big thing
is going to be the headliner, guys.
The headliner is you buy something on on one. You get it on everything, guys. Play it on your phone, play it on your fucking watch. You know, you get one of them fucking tablets. You know, play it on wherever, man. That's the big news, man. Nobody cares about playing shit on your console anymore. It's all about playing it across everything, man. You taking a shit, play it, man. You flying, play it. You know, yeah, dude. That's what they're all about, man. No shit. That's what they really are all about. That's what they want to do.
Taking your games with you everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Well, they could have a streaming service. They could have family.
Well, I think they already had that in place. Like I said,
well, they could have a streaming service like PSN now, where you can play a 360.
Well, they announced that PSN, the Xbox Mini Stick or whatever, that you can play indie games and stream your third party, your AAAs to the device.
Yeah, that's very possible. I mean, why else would that Chromecast fucking Xbox stick be made? You're not gonna be able to play Xbox on it.
Like I said, for maybe some of the indie games or small, you know.
I'll tell you though, for one of the E3s, this is one of the most anticipated. One of the most where I just go in and I have no idea what's going to happen.
True.
You know, and that's a good thing. You know, I mean, last year we thought that was going to be the biggest year, but this year is shaping up to be pretty big. I mean, if they do Scorpio and they do the Scorpio and go ahead, you know.
Well, talking about, you know, Tim, you were saying, you know, getting off hardware for a second when we had Jez Corden on the show on Crossfire. He said that he's gotten a sneak peek at some of the, I don't know if he got a sneak peek or he heard, because he couldn't talk about it on the show. But this anniversary update that we're getting that's being rolled out tonight, actually, a few people I know have it, it's a big deal. This thing's a big deal. This is just as big as what we got last November.
Yeah, it is.
Now we have a 5.5 teraflop beast, guys. Yeah, come on.
Is that Crap or Super Mario? Wait, no, I saw.
Hey, we're both Italian and our
that's
and
true.
Our ass cracks hang
Is
out,
that really true that the new update goes that people have actually gotten this anniversary?
There's people on Twitter saying that they got it, so I don't know.
Well, anything you hear on the internet, which is true.
I know.
Register for it. That's the first thing. Just if you get an email from Xbox, it's going to tell you. It's depending on if how much you do the task and stuff. If you do a lot of them, you'll get an email, and then you have to enroll. It's like
I'll say this though, Tim. If you want to look at, Microsoft is a company that follows their tradition. The last time the preview rolled out for the big UI, it was I was away. I was in Florida for a wedding. And Mike Ibarra sent out a tweet. I think it was the same thing, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of the week prior. We didn't know at the time. Said it's coming soon. And then the request, like you said, to register came out on the Thursday, Friday that week. And then on Sunday night, because I remember it as sure as shit, because you guys were doing BGST and I was in Florida. And you guys were like, yep, they're coming out. So like I said earlier this week on Twitter, I said, if Mike's saying soon, then it would literally be possibly Saturday or Sunday we'll see this start to roll out, which is what they want to do.
Right.
Yeah. Crap, you got to lower that. That's killing me.
That's
killing me.
Super Mario Brothers, what? No, is that?
This is one of the first episodes. Zaire has no background noise, and now I gotta hear the princess getting
Crap
served.
has become fucking Mr. Mario, brother.
Crap is waiting.
He lost his mind. And
Crap's getting his Asian on. Listen, can you do me a favor and just relax for a second?
Yeah, you know me, man. I love.
That's racist.
Come on, man.
I just got my Xbox on. Jeez.
I get a kick out of people that there was a thing that happened this weekend. People who hold on to your previous comments and hold you to it like the end of the world.
Oh yeah.
People there was this fucking moron that keeps getting banned. He's like mentally ill or something. Chuck Liddell. He makes. He makes this Xbox meme where it's a Nazi. It's all in red, and it says an X. You know how like the Xbox is a fucking SWAT sticker, and it says under it like the Xbox, literally Hitler. And you have the same morons. Bryce, Titanfall Princess was also a part of it. I asked him. I said, "Do you guys support this?" And you know what their answer was? They said, "Chuck's spot on." So at that point, I was like, forget it. If you guys, this is the hypocrisy that goes on. They're actually supporting something like that, which is horrible, and they're not calling that out, but they're calling a thing that Crap said 2.5 years ago when he was drunk that he even apologized. He fucking it was just his ill-advised statements that at the time we all addressed. They're still hanging on to that, but that's okay. So when you see that type of stuff, you know that
that's what I'm saying. And when anyone's calling anybody on this show any kind of derogatory name, you understand it's only 12 people. There's 12 people plus 12 sock accounts, and it's just the same crap over and over again. So pay no attention. When someone calls you anything like that, or you get a couple of tweets in a row, block. I'm telling you, block them all, and they disappear. That's why I see a lot of guys. Z, I gotta call you out, Z. You still didn't block these guys by humoring them. All you're doing is allowing this stuff to continue.
Who are these guys? You gotta realize.
Well, it's a couple of mental patients.
What you gotta realize, I don't be involved in Twitter like y'all. I don't.
Yeah, but that's even more of a reason to hit the block button.
I don't
mind. Honestly, at this point, these are.
I don't know who are these.
No, it's usually it's a couple of kids, but basically what I'm thinking of is that these kids don't have jobs, okay, and their daddy or their parents got them a PS4, and they're not happy with it, and they're insecure. That's why they're focused on us, and that's why they have so much time to make these memes and do all that stuff.
Yeah,
at this point,
I don't mind the memes. If they're racist or some other...
No, this one was really bad. I know that some of Chuck's stuff is funny, but the bottom line is when you do something...
Chuck Liddell, that's him?
Yeah, well, yeah. So I
said, bro, I told him, listen, I don't do that. I will block you. I don't really have any problems on Twitter. I've been cool for the last 4 or 5 months. I don't do the weird shit. He was something about some
That's all he does.
What the fuck he put?
Yeah, he gets banned. He's been banned like 30 times. I mean,
it was the swastika stuff, dude. It was.
That's the swastika do. I block
it. I'll send it. It's really bad. It's really.
I saw it. It's it's like it's bad. It's like those people are very extremist. You know what I mean? Like.
That's true.
Yeah, okay.
Not all Sony fans are like that. It's just it's this majority. This
this is what he put. I don't know if he tweeted this or it's him, but it's a picture. It has Tim Dog and it has Aaron and Phil. It says, "Dear P3," I guess dear Phil. I guess he must have him blocked because he can't tag him. "Dear P3 and Greenie, I drew this picture because I want both of your cocks in my mouth at the same time.
Yeah, well, that's.
Please notice me or I'll be sad." That's when I put like, I ain't with that weirdo shit, bro. Leave me, yeah.
I don't know what it is. I think it's something gay. I think Chuck's actually he fantasizes about us or something because everything is a gay thing. Everything is like either gay or racist. Guys having sex, they're actually fucking searching gay fucking porno material to put my face on. So when you're at that point, there's something mentally wrong with you.
And that's why I say, listen, What you got to realize, though, Z, is when you go, hey, Chuck, that's sometimes you'll go, hey, that's funny, haha. What happens is everyone that follows you, whether you're on Twitter or not, this is how Twitter works. Everyone that follows you and sees you say, ha, 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 that's funny, they then click and scroll up to see what he did. What you're doing is you're promoting him, even when you just say, ha, 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 that's funny. So what I'm saying is you got to block these people because even by you not even retweeting it, when you reply to him, everyone reads your shit and then scrolls up and sees it. So the only way to kibosh it is you got to block them.
You got to just ignore it. You got to be honestly, like I said, these are kids. These are people that haven't worked a job in their lives. Obviously, they don't have girlfriends or boyfriends or what. They're very confused and they're very upset. The only thing you can do, I can do is block.
You never block anybody. That's the funny part. You got who was that Janos kid? I know you still talk to him. I guess.
I've been blocking a lot of people at this point because you know what? I'm at the point where Xbox fans we're excited about what we have, and the console war thing with these guys is on its last legs. These guys are holding on to something where it's at this point it's played out and it's kind of strange on their half. So I yesterday I blocked 5 people because at this point if you're gonna be a hypocrite and you're gonna call out one person and then you're gonna say a SWAT sticker on an Xbox with literally Hitler is funny and is spot on, goodbye. I don't have no time for that because basically you're not being fair, or you're just being. It's all about video games in the console war. Basically, you can give a shit less what people say. You just want to paint people in a bad
Gotta block them all.
Gotta block them all.
That's what I do, man. I don't put up with any. I don't even
There's
bother
no
with
reason.
it.
That's why when people are like, "Hey, did you see all this stuff?" I'm actually like, "No, I'm not," because I don't see that. That's why when Tim, and I don't blame you, Tim. You had a good point, but then as time progressed, I tried to keep my ears and eyes open for it, because you said to me, "I'm not sure if that's really going to work." When you block them, it works, because what happens is, like I said, Tim, when you or Z or anyone, me included, if we respond, even if it's a respond that says "F yourself," the problem is that everyone that follows us sees us, and then they're like, "Who's he talking to? What's going on?" And then they see it, and it's promoting. They say any publicity is publicity, right? So what you do is when you block them, it never hits your airwaves.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And a lot, like I said, and this goes out to a lot of my Xbox fans that have followed me. I can only speak for myself. They don't want to see this stupid shit. They want to hear about Scorpio. Right. They want to hear about what Xbox has, because you know what? They're generally excited about Xbox, and that's what we're all excited about Xbox. But there are other people that aren't excited about their console preference, and this is what they have to do. So at this point, why like you said, why even acknowledge it? Because at the end of the day, it's like, why bother with it? Because they're unhappy and we're happy, and they're unhappy because we're happy. So
exactly,
you can't deal with that. That's just weirdo shit. So
it is. Well, and you're right. It's because they're afraid of the console thing. They've built that up so much, and it's so easy to goad them. You know what I mean? I do it.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be the first one to fucking admit that. Me and Tim will talk about it in DM sometimes, and you know what I mean? He'll be like, "Yeah, man, go ahead, man. It'll be funny, right?" Like we just do shit. You know what I'm saying? Just because they're so afraid right now, and the difference is people like us. We don't care what they say. I'm not going on their channels. I'm not following them. I'm not. You know
I'm
what I mean?
not hanging on their own every word that they make, or I mean, they're not interesting. Obviously, when it's the type of thing when you see something that somebody else has, you're interested in that and you care about that, and that's them right now. We don't give a fuck. They could do whatever they want. They could talk about Sony all day and be happy. I'm not gonna give a shit. It's like when Uncharted came out and all the reviews came out and everyone was in a love fest and they were hashtagging. I didn't give a shit. I let everyone have their go ahead.
I was the only honest motherfucker about that game. Good game, not great. Put your 11 hours in, be done with it.
Man, you got some questions.
To get tens across the board, and then they don't even talk about the multiplayer is kind of a little.
Nobody even talked about the shit that I complained about. Did you notice that? Mooch, like you played it. Wouldn't you say you fucking move an awful lot of fucking crates on wheels, like to the point of it annoys?
I'll say this. I did say that in my review too, because I got to say you knocked a home run with that. The crate was everywhere, and. Listen, if you're going to put a crate everywhere, listen, the concept was to jump up on something to get somewhere. Okay, I get that. Fine. You want to we all know that's Neil Druckmann's shtick. Fine. My thing is, it's the same fucking crate. So when I'm in an abandoned fucking a place that was like an old pirate place, there it is. I'm in a cave somewhere, there's the crate. Then I'm over where, the story begins, same crate. Make it so that it's a rock you push off a ledge one time, or make it so you stand on a chair that you had to go get in a fucking closet. Make it something other than the same generic crate. I mean, it was so awful. And in my review, the one thing I got into was, if you guys remember and played Uncharted 1, 2, and 3, Uncharted 1, 2, and 3 was predominantly all gunfire, like shooting. And then the jumping aspect of the game I thought was a welcome break. I'm like, that's kind of cool, the puzzles and this and that. This game was all jumping. There's like 3 memorable gun scenes. Like the rest of it is just jumping and sliding and jumping. And I mean, even, you think I'm kidding, Nathan Drake even makes a comment in it. The character says, God, if I keep sliding, I think I got rocks in my ass or something. Because he kept on like literally sliding and jumping for an entire 2 or 3 chapters. So, I mean, like, that was the only thing that I thought was a downplay, was they didn't do enough gunplay in the game. I mean, that's what the game's named for, and this was just a lot of jumping, and I didn't think they mix-matched that well. It should have been more of a 50-50 at the very most, instead of it was like a 70-30, 80-20 kind of thing.
Yeah, it was a little bit over the top in my opinion. It wasn't great. Hey, did you guys hear this thing about what GameSpot did?
What happened?
Yeah, that's
okay.
bad.
What
yeah.
GameSpot did was this, okay, and this is something that I've been noticing for a while. Usually, when these places do like the comparison, it's Xbox One version of a game versus the PlayStation 4 version, right? Well, GameSpot did Overwatch, PlayStation 4 version versus the PC version. They fucking doctored the PC version, made it look worse to make the PS4 version look better. Like they got called out for it too. It's fucking ridiculous.
By a couple PC guys.
Yeah.
Them,
Yeah, like it's so fucking hilarious, right? And we've been saying they were one of the worst offenders, right? And here we are with fucking more proof of that. And what's funny is I'm not even a Total Biscuit fan or any of those guys, right? Because I think I don't like PC gamers either. But when they're like, hey, I think his comment was something to the effect of, and this is why gaming journalism is irrelevant, thanks to YouTube or something like that, right? And he's pretty right on with that, right? Like you can get whatever information you want about games from much more in tune people, and that wasn't the only thing. Let's see, fucking Forbes ran an article called "Gamers Are Justifiably Calling Out the Mainstream Gaming Press for Being Inept."
Let's just say that the Xbox gamers. Let's quote. They should have said Xbox gamers because the fact is that, and we were always met with tinfoil hats and this and that. The gaming media and the gaming journalism right now is a shit show, and props to Xbox fans and to people on this panel. We actually called this out a long time ago, and now people are actually starting to fall into place with this. It is a shit show. I mean, how the fuck do you GameSpot doing that is a fucking it's a horror show. You don't do that to I'm not a big PC guy. I have PCs and build PCs, but that's wrong to do to the PC to the PC because it gives people the perception that PS4 is more powerful than the PC, and that's a lie. And that's basically GameSpot trying to make PlayStation 4 for whatever reason look better than it really is. I mean, and that's pretty shitty that they did that, to be honest.
Yeah, and not only that, like it's so funny that that the mainstream media pretends like they don't push that narrative. Like I still remember fucking Destin Legary saying, "I don't participate in wars, crap." Yeah. Right, and then like fucking I show the picture. Yeah, that fucking picture. It's like that shit's in infamy. You know what I mean? Like that it is. It's like the guys.
And even Ryan, not to cut you off, but even Ryan was like, some stuff I don't agree with what other people do. That whole shit show that Dustin did was a shit show, and he should be ashamed of himself to even call himself media.
Yeah. I even called him out. I'm like, why? You're in the Xbox podcast, yet you're playing Destiny on the PS4. You know what I mean? And he goes, well, we get the DLC early or whatever, and somebody needs to play that. Like, that IGN has interns, right? Like, everybody knows this. They're the ones whose footage you see when they're showing gameplay. It's not fucking Destin's and their gameplay. It's whoever the fucking slave is that's fucking their intern, right? That's what it is. It's not that's the truth, right? Like people. That's why like that whole gameplay shit with me came up. I'm like, have you ever seen Watch Mojo or any of these sites that do fucking top 10 lists or whatever? They just take random footage. It's called fair use. Do you think when fucking Naomi Titz is up there fucking talking about games on the Daily Fix, is she playing that game that they're talking about?
Anyone in the audience that doesn't believe what Tim, Crap, and Z are saying and what I've been saying for a few years about the media bias, has anybody on this panel watched the latest episode of Game Scoop on IGN? Has anyone seen it?
No.
They discuss Ryan's on there, and shout out to Ryan. Ryan didn't do anything wrong. Ryan was literally hosting, asking questions. But they were going back and forth, and they said, "What are you expecting?" And they got into it goes on and on. It's a 45-minute show. But this one part, they have this girl on who's new. The new person from behind the camera came on because someone else left the channel. So they just got another game journalist that's played games for about 15 minutes comes on.
Right.
So she's sitting there, and she goes, "Well, before we get into the Slim," because somebody goes, "I hope the new Xbox One Slim has," of course, they said this, right hand to God, watch the show, "I hope it has the built-in power brick." That's what so that's all right. That's okay. That's not, Oh, that's not where I'm going with this. So she goes, wait, I don't want to interrupt you, but she goes, "Can I talk about that?" And Ryan's like, "Yeah, what do you want to talk about?" Like, she goes, "I hope it has the built-in power brick," but she goes, "When I first bought an Xbox One, my power brick that's actually external, it caught on fire and caught my left side of my Right hand to God. And Ryan's like, what? She's like, I swear to God, she's like, my power brick blew up and caught my carpet on fire. If you guys, I'll send you guys the link after the show.
God.
Listen, you can't make this shit up. You cannot make this shit up. It is not me making it up. IGN is so fucking far up Sony's ass. Like, I don't know what in the world. Like, Phil Spencer would have to buy a whole new studio for them, and that wouldn't change their opinions. Like, come on, man.
They're the ones that couldn't find the fucking settings. I'm like, you go Xbox, go to settings, or you fucking.
Or you just hit a fucking the settings button. Or
It's like fucking it's the easiest goddamn thing ever.
There's been a lot of stuff that went on this generation, and you can tell they're not hiring gamers. They'll hire people with pretty faces, or they'll hire somebody who looks good, a handsome guy, but they're not hiring people who actually know what a fucking video games is, or is in, or that's passionate about it. Any of us on this panel is probably more qualified to talk about games than 80% of fucking GameStop.
Like how come none of these people, none of these mainstream media has covered the loud ass PS4? Like my PS4 sounds like a goddamn jet engine taking off when I start that fucker up. Why is nobody covering this? Right? Like you don't hear anybody covering this. Nobody covers it at all. You know what I'm saying? Like why did it take Polygon to come out and say, hey, there's a problem with people not knowing which button to push to eject your game and turn your PS4 on or off. And I'm thinking, exactly, right? And that's a fucking, and people jumped on them. They were defending them. They were like, oh my God, how can you be that stupid?
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
To me, all that stuff.
Which?
To me, all that stuff though is stupid. To me, all that stuff is really, it's just people nitpicking. And the thing is that it's been very easy, or it's been commonplace to pick on Xbox and to say, you know, the stupidest shit and make a big deal out of it, like the setting for power usage that they said that Microsoft's trying to fucking be an energy hungry machine, and all this fucking bullshit that they ran with. All that stuff is stupid, and that's the type of stuff that the media is. They're not talking about games. They're not talking about, you know, you saw it with like when you talk about like with Uncharted about how you fucking pull a crate all the time. They're not talking about how games are pretty much they're lacking creativity, or they're talking about the wrong stuff in my opinion. They're talking about stupid shit like power bricks and connected, does it know where you are, or is it gonna you know, all this fucking fear-mongering shit that went on. It's not about games, and honestly the whole entire industry of the journalistic industry of journalism in gaming needs an overhaul. They really do. The talking points and the shit that they do, they are not gamers. That's the problem. They're pretty faces, they're handsome guys, they're people that can speak well, but they don't understand it. When you have this fucking idiot say hit after hit after hit, and then you have a panelist of 3 people that look at him like he's serious when those games look like absolute dog shit, and they're all saying, well, yeah, they look pretty good. Yeah, I think they're gonna pack it in, or you know, they're gonna pack these games in, or this and that. It's gonna be great. You know, basically they're following a directive to be positive about something, and on the flip side, they're doing the same thing with Xbox a lot of times to be negative and to push it down, and because they know it'll get hits. And that's where the gaming journalism is now. And honestly, it's a shit show. And I'm just glad that we called it out way before any of these motherfuckers did, because now you're starting to see these articles, and you'll see more. It's a shit show. They need the industry. Their industry needs an overhaul. They need to fire them.
Do you think it'll change, though, Tim? You think it'll change?
I think when you have articles that just came out and you're realizing what's going on, and you're realizing the clickbaitery that's going on, you know, it's like when I posted the thing about Scorpio with IGN, and I said it must hurt IGN to put this up, and then Ryan hits me up. Ryan doesn't follow me, but he hits me up. He goes, "What do you mean by that?" And then I explained to him why I think IGN is off, and you know, he basically was defending IGN, obviously where he's working. He says, "Well, I can assure you that it's not biased and this and that." But people are beginning to really notice what's been going on, and I think that there's going to be a time where you have to be more professionalism. The clickbaiting might not work as well.
Claiming that we're all fucking tinfoil hat wearing people isn't going to work forever.
Even Eurogamer came out and they said that there was definite shit going on. I don't remember at the end of the year. This guy came out.
They were like, hey, it's time to get over it. Get over the Microsoft hate. They bungled the launch. It's fucking, that was 2013. Get over it. You know what I mean?
It needs to change. It really does need. The whole industry, they need to start firing motherfuckers. They need to start testing people on actually, do they know what a fucking Xbox is? How do you find settings? If that girl who said she couldn't find settings, if you're in a real world thing where it's not about bullshit, that person's fired. That person's put in the office for the boss and said, how the fuck can you find settings? Show me on here with Xbox. I got an Xbox here. Get to settings. And if that person can't get to settings and shows that they're very unfamiliar because actually they don't use it but they're commenting on it, you're fired. Go find another job.
Right.
This job is not for you.
And that's what I said. How can you be in the gaming journalism world and tell me you can't find settings when actually not only at the time when that article came out, that video came out, that was also when Kinect was bundled in every single console.
Exactly.
So you can't. All you got to do is say Xbox, go to settings. First of all, so you're an idiot right there.
Right.
Number two, if you press the start button, settings was always there every single time on every option, whether you're on the home page, in game, whatever. It was always there. So why are you getting? Who's paying you? Like Tim just said. If I had seen that and I was the editor, I was like, who just said this? They're like, oh, that's
my office.
That's Jackass over there in the corner. I'll get Jackass in here for a minute because I want to ask you a question. Who hired you? How did you get recommended here? Because why are you talking games when you can't find the settings button? That's almost like if you report to your job tomorrow, everyone that's listening, and you ask your boss, how the fuck do you sharpen a pencil? I'm like, get the fuck out of my office.
Well, that's the thing is that they're hiring people that are more sensationalists than actual gamers.
Right.
Like these people, you can't tell me these people on GameStop that they're actual gamers because at the end of the day, when you can't find settings and you said, and even in that same video, the last girl said, she goes, all the resolution, and she says these games with different, and all these games that have frame rate differences like 60 frames and to 30 frames. She mentioned several games. There's only been one game up to that point that was 60-30, and that was the Tomb Raider, which ran like shit anyway on PlayStation 4. It was like 52 or 48.
Jamie Moran with the hit after hit after hit.
That's great. That is great.
I mean, that hit after hit after hit, that's going to live in infamy because that just shows you that they're pushing something. It's more about advertisement than anything. It's not about saying, oh well, these games look basically like they look like bullshit, shovelware. Nobody said that. Basically that whole show was about promoting VR and really the gaming industry, the journalistics part of it should really have a higher standard. Right now, it is a shit show, and I'm just glad that that people are actually calling this stuff out.
Yeah, I love it. I think that it's fucking great that that people are actually starting to wake the fuck up because it's only
3 years in.
Too long.
But
fucking ridiculous. So.
Hey, you wanna? I know Moose has to do his fucking Game of Thrones, so you wanna bang the gavel?
Yeah, we can, man. It was actually a pretty good show, man.
It's always a good show. We fucking BGST, man. Thank you guys for rocking out with us live. We appreciate the love and support, and we'll be back for craps. Xbox Nation and Moose Crossfire.
Yeah.
And look out for Beastfire.
Watch out for Scorpio. Don't be scared of the Scorpio.
Nice. We out here. Thank you guys, man.
It does sting, though, Scorpio.
Do you?